Hey everybody, and welcome back to Elderberry Sprout. Today I want to start a new series, and this is going to be called Witchy Works in Progress. So today I realized I have a whole bunch of little projects going on around the place, whether they be crafty projects or like renovation type projects or just kind of bigger projects I've been working on. This tends to happen this time of year in the summertime. I'm focused a lot on the outside and growing stuff and just getting stuff done, really. I'm not so much into list making, but I thought I would show you some of the more magical projects that I'm currently working on. So firstly, I'm doing a little bit of product development right now, where I was thinking I could use scrap fabrics that I absolutely love with some handmade paper to make bookmarks. So this is the prototype of this. I'm doing some experimentation with how thick I want the paper to be, because it needs to be able to hold up to these kind of heavier tassels. So doing some experimentation with making bookmarks. That's pretty fun. Let's see, so there's a project I want to work on. I need to figure out how to best adhere metal to metal because I want to put a little pen clip on this brass fountain pen because I love brass fountain pens, but this one I want to be able to hook on to assorted papers, and I can't. You can see I tried gluing it on one time, but I think I'm going to use my Dremel to rough up this surface because it's pretty slick. It's, you know, nice finished brass. So if I rough up this surface, I think I'll be able to use a different type of glue to be able to adhere the clip on there. This will allow for me to have a fountain pen wherever I go. Okay, and here's one of the projects I was working on last night, which was cutting and remounting these foam stamps. So you can't really tell what this stamp is. It's supposed to be a tree. So I just finished remounting, let's see, these 4 stamps. So I have like this little mountain, little rocks, the sunshine. This is grass. It didn't print so well on this block of wood, but this foam is really foamy and you can't tell what the pattern is. So I've cut these pieces of wood and sanded the edges and refinished them so that they're nice and clean. And I'm going to stamp the pattern on the front and then peel the stamp off and put it on the bottom so that I can have nice wooden mounted stamps and I'll be able to tell what the pattern actually is. So these are these little life maintenance things where every time I grab my stamp, this drives me crazy. And I finally just couldn't take it anymore. So I'm finally remounting these stamps. I also have, let's see, what's this one supposed to be? Oh, a little tree. So I've got a big tree and little tree to work on. And I've got the blocks all cut and sanded there. I've also been teaching myself to carve stamps. Let me show you the ones I've done. So here is some of the stamps that I've made. I've been making a lot of clothing, and this is the stamp that I put on to show that this is clothing that I made for myself. So it's a little stamp, it's a sigil that I made for myself, and I'm putting it on all of my me-made clothing. This is a stamp that says handmade. And the stamp is handmade, and so are whatever the things are that I happen to stamp this on. So that's a fun development. I also made this little banner. I haven't mounted this one on a piece of wood yet, so that's just what it looks like. But I am always drawing banners, and I figure making a banner stamp would save me a lot of time, and I made it a good size for my bullet journal, so I'm pretty stoked on that one. And I think you guys have seen this one before. It's one of the first stamps I made. I use this for all of my perfume recipes in my grimoire or my book of shadows. And actually a good deal of these were, you can't really tell too much, these were secondhand pieces of rubber that it was carved on the back side and then I just carved on the bottom side and glued the back side to the block so I could still get good even pressure, and I was able to reuse something. So that was pretty cool. So here's an example of that. You can see this side's all carved up, but this side looks pretty good, so as long as I cut pretty shallowly, I should be able to get a couple little stamps out of this chunk. So that's one of the new skills I'm trying to teach myself. I also have a stamp, oh, you might be able to see it here. Let me show you that. It's currently in use in all of my studio stuff. It's very faint there, but it says Elderberry Sprout, and that's my business name. So But that was actually the first stamp that I carved. So I've been getting really into stamp carving. I feel like it's really a fun and meditative process. I really enjoy the process of stamp carving because not only does it require a lot of focus and intention, but the design takes a lot of intention too, because you have to design what it is you're making the stamp about. So like for me, I know I've been sewing a lot, so I needed to have this little seal. It serves a purpose of showing that this is a clothing I made for myself, allowing myself to be selfish in a way. This banner is going to be so useful because I use that pattern all the time in my bullet journal. So these are both going to be saving me time and serving a purpose. Handmade. That's what my business is. It's all handmade stuff. So I want to make sure I use that. You really have to be reflective about how things are going to be used and why you want to make the stamp in the first place. Because if you don't, then you're just going to have a whole bunch of stamps you don't like. So I've only really wanted to make stamps that are going to make my life easier. So that's what I've been doing. And here, so this is my old traveler's notebook. And I managed to find this really beautiful map. Like, it could be a clutch bag, really, if I wanted to, but it's way too big for that for me. But it is gorgeous. The whole thing is tooled. It's so beautiful, the whole pattern. You can see there is some wear along the seam, and I'll have to recondition the leather. It's got some great squeaky leather going on. But this seam is definitely in better condition. And you can see, I'm sure, since I brought both of these out at the same time, you can see where I'm going with this, but I was like, oh, that's about the right size for a traveler's notebook. So I don't know if it would be considered unethical, me cutting this thing apart because it's so beautiful, but it is designed to be a map bag. That's why it says map there. So it was designed to be a map satchel type thing. So it's got little section, as you can see, for the main map, and then it's got little cubbies, or like, I guess, pen holders or something on each side. But I want to make this into a traveler's notebook, so I've just been deliberating about how I want to go about doing this and whether or not I want to make it into a video, because I feel like this type of thing, it's so particular to this exact item that I don't know how useful it will be as far as a video is concerned of like making your own traveler's notebook. It's like, well, you're not going to find one of these. I was lucky to find one of these, you know? So I might just play around with this and see if I can make it into anything and then show you at the end, because I know I'm going to have to go slow with this project so that I can preserve the most beauty that I possibly can. I would like to hear your guys' opinions about this project because I've been sitting on this for a while, but I'm getting pretty excited about actually doing this. But yeah, how would you utilize this little clip? Because it's got a hole right here. You can see it's a little bit blue, so I'll have to clean it all up. But yeah, and it's got a clip there. You put that on the pin and then close it there. Should that be the center of the book? Because if that's the case, then I would be cutting off part of the map pattern. In theory, I might be able to remove this and then do it here and cut a seam so it's just open. It doesn't have a flap on it. I don't know. Anyway, if you have ideas for how I should go about cutting this beautiful piece, I would love to hear that. Another little work in progress is this ceramic planter that broke. I finally glued all the pieces back together. So I think I'm going to end up using this as a pen holder or a paintbrush holder. But I might try to kintsugi this, where I would add little bits of gold in the broken parts. I think that'd be really beautiful. So that's a work in progress. I'm also currently brainstorming on what pattern I want to have on the front of my next grimoire, because I know I want to keep with the snake kind of theme, but I think I don't necessarily want black for everything. I think I want to embrace these florals. Maybe not the fruit, but that is awful cute. Oh, and they match so nice. So I'm trying to explore what I want to be on the front of my grimoire. So I might have a motif like my little snake here, but on something very feminine like this. So there's a bit of a juxtaposition. So there's the darkness that is welcome, as well as a little bit more of that light energy. So that's something else I'm brainstorming on, trying to figure out. But yeah, I just went to the thrift store and found all these beautiful little detailed linens. Remind me of Joanna. If you've ever seen her on YouTube, she's fantastic. And I'm thinking of doing a kind of patchworky style cover for this, but that might just remind me too much of her. So I'm trying to figure out a way to utilize these beautiful, gorgeous linens in a different way that's not so very much in her wheelhouse. That's more in my style. We'll see how I can figure that out. But yeah, like check out this one. We got some more florals, the little bit of the blue. And these little guys. Oh my gosh, so many good ones, right? Aren't those just so cute? Anyway, so I'm doing some brainstorming there. I've been drawing little pictures of how I want to piece some of these together and the other fabric I want to mix in with them. So many ideas, so little time. Okay, now let's go outside and take a peek on what I'm working on out there. And these are some old window frames I have. The glass is broken out of them and I want to turn them into herb drying racks. So I have some screen that I'm going to staple onto the frames here after I remove all of this nasty lead paint. These were really old window frames, so I'm just making sure I remove the paint in a responsible way. Yeah, and then I'm going to cut these down to size so that they fit on these racks here. You can see I'm drying some lemon basil, a whole bunch of lemon basil, but I've got more of these little shelves that I want to put these racks on. Can dry all the herbs. Anyway, there you go. Quick video about what I've been up to. I hope this inspires you guys to go spend some time outside. Do those annoying projects that have been nagging the back of your brain. Just get them done, because when you're done, it just feels so good. You don't have to think about it anymore. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed getting some inspiration about witchy crafts you can be doing. Yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next time. If you guys like this video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, because I would love to make this into a series. I'm always doing weird stuff around the house, and sometimes I don't know how to transform that into a full-on video. So anyway, giving you a peek in I thought would be interesting. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a magical day. Bye.